this month's muscle of the month is your posterior tibialis. And there's a couple reasons we're going to talk about this muscle, but one of the big ones is for balance. So your posterior tibialis, it actually is a muscle that runs along the back of your shin bone, and it connects down in the bottom of your foot into a couple different spots on the bottom of your foot. And it actually is what makes up the biggest part of your medial arch. So this arch that comes along right here, this is what most people typically think about when they think about having flat feet or overpronating. All things that aren't necessarily wrong, but what happens is if my medial arch, if my tibialis posterior isn't firing, that'll cause my foot to kind of flatten. I lose that arch. And what that does is, as you can see, is now my shin is rotating, my knee is caving in, and my hip is trying to find another way to move. It's trying to rotate. It's trying to do what it can to counteract some of this movement that I'm doing. So if you sometimes have knee pain while doing certain, especially single leg balance exercises, it could be because your foot isn't firing properly, that posterior tib isn't firing. It could be when you're having issues transferring weight in your golf swing, but also it could just be daily life, feeling that like you don't have the balance you should, having difficulties with different things. So we're going to do an isometric today, and how we're going to do that is you're just going to sit on the edge of a surface, a couch, a chair, it doesn't matter, and I'm just going to have my heel on the edge of it so that my foot can go a little bit flatter than the table if I need to. I'm kind of just relaxing the foot in this position. I'm not thinking about pointing down. It's just relaxed. And I'm going to try to bring my foot across as far as I can. I'm going to hold this for 6 to 10 seconds, and I'll do this about 6 to 10 times. And you should feel it coming across here. That's where you're feeling that activation. This first time through, I'm just thinking about trying to get it to go as flat across as I can. I'm not trying to use my toes too much in any one direction. But then as maybe you get better at this, or if you want to add this one in, it works a slightly different fiber muscle, but you're going to try to rotate that foot and invert it. And you should feel it kind of go a little bit higher up, but feel it in there working. Same thing, try not to use your toes too much, just trying to move that foot straight across, holding 6 to 10 seconds, 6 to 10 times. If you want to really work on strengthening this muscle, obviously start with the isometrics to get it activated, but you could also anchor a band, resistance band over here and do the same thing. You could also, if you were on the ground, lay a towel, put a small weight on the edge of the towel, and you could try dragging the towel across. But just start with the isometric, see if we can get that muscle firing, and then what you'll see is you'll be able to load your leg a little better, which is really important when doing any activity. Obviously, even walking, we're going leg to leg, running, jumping, all sorts of things, and transferring weight in your golf swing. If you're able to get that posterior tibialis activated, it'll really make a difference in your daily life. So if you feel like you struggle with your balance, if you have any sort of ankle problems or even knee and hip problems, it could all be stemming from this muscle not firing. So try these exercises this week before doing activities, see if that makes a difference. And if you're still having issues, reach out and we could do an MAT, muscle activation technique treatment session, and try to figure out exactly what's the root cause of your problem so we can get you moving better.